we'll get into the leaks at some point soon, as much as you want to go into it. But I want to start it off by asking November 19, place yourself there. You finally get to sit down. You actually have Grand Theft Auto 6. Once you get to the open world part, you finish the prologue. What are you doing first?
It's a good question. One I've been asked and asked many times. I think for me, I'm very intrigued by the ocean this time around. I feel like, based on everything we've seen, prior to and even including some of the leaks, Rockstar is paying a lot of attention to detail when it comes to different aspects of the game, up to and including the ocean and the physics of the waves and all of that. And I don't I don't know how deep you wanna go into, like, leaked stuff,
Yeah, we
but
can go into it.
from what I've seen leading up to it, I already knew it was going to be good. Even some of the things that we've seen in the leaks kinda confirms some suspicions that I've had about certain things about, like, fishing mechanics and, wave propagation and all that stuff, and it just that to me is like it's calling. You know what I mean? Like the ocean is calling. I feel like Moana, man. When when I get this game in 85 days, 10 hours and 21 minutes, I'm gonna be beelining it straight to the nearest boat and heading out to the ocean.
Do you have a PS5 Pro, I assume?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
the base PS5 and she has treated me so well. I think just
Yeah.
up till this point, I'm
Yeah.
scared. I'm very scared. I'd be okay with 30 FPS. If I can get a comfortable
Yeah.
30, sure, we'll take that. I don't think they'll ship less though.
Yeah, I think you're probably safe. I mean, we're just now to the point where we're not making like Call of Duty, for example, just came out with or is coming out with a new game, and this is like the first time this console generation, like in the past 6 years, that they've decided we're not going to make anything for the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 4.
Yep.
So I mean, they're kind of slow to move away from that, and I think a lot of that obviously is to make maximum amount of money that you can on stuff. But I think this game is being heavily optimized so that whether you're playing on a Xbox Series S, an Xbox One, whatever, a PlayStation 5, PS5 Pro, whatever, it's going to be optimized and running smoothly. I have my own opinions about that.
Let's get
Being a
into that. Come on.
but yeah, I mean, I mean, my community knows I'm like a heavy PC gamer. I used to be a console gamer. My whole life, I grew up on console. I have mad respect for console gamers. I was one of you for a very long time. But like when I got my first PC, it just like opened up my world, man. There's like so many more games, and if you invest a little bit more in like the hardware and all that, you can run some really high quality scenarios. It's just for me, it's a lot more immersive and beautiful. And I think the moment that the PC version of Grand Theft Auto 6 drops, I'm selling my PlayStation. Like I won't need it anymore at that point. Just the sheer amount of options and graphical changes and all that stuff that will inevitably ship with it. So
I mean, we briefly mentioned it up top, but we've had a drought for a long time. I think you know the specific number more than I do, but it was like 400 something days from trailer 2, something like
yeah,
that,
I
right?
think we're like 473, 474 days now at the time of recording since the last
That's
trailer.
nuts. That is actually
Yeah.
nuts. But it's not anything unlike Rockstar, right? A lot of Rockstar fans from years prior expected this. We knew that there
Hmm.
was going to be respectfully fuck all to sink our teeth into, and
Yeah.
it came true, right? It came true. Sad that we are so close to the extended look, but look, listen, the CyberLeaks guy is kind of putting on a superhero mask. Like I'm going to
Yeah.
save, physical gamers, screw the digital age. But we know it's a crypto rug pull, and we know it's just for other reasons.
Yeah.
With the conversation of leaks, from what we've seen, yes, it's got us excited. In your eyes, is there any validity of what he's doing at all?
No, I mean, obviously it's he shouldn't have access to this stuff. It's unknown exactly if he's like a previous developer or if it's a build that he has or if somebody recorded late. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. But what he's doing is, I mean, blatantly against the law. And in addition to that, he's using his site, his platform, whatever you want to call it, as an opportunity to get people to spend money on this coin that he has, so he can make money off the backs of people that are just dying to see this leak, or see these leaks. I mean, he's capitalizing on Rockstar's silence, and he's doing it for a profit. I mean, that's really all this is. And he can sit there and say, "Oh, I'm for the gamers, and we're doing this to fight back against physical whatever." I don't buy it. I mean, if that was the case, then drop your crypto stuff right now. Forget that that's even a thing, and then maybe you can have some credibility for your fight. But what he's doing is not righteous in the slightest. He's making money off of people and their excitement around Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, it's I feel like anybody that has the sense can see that that's what's happening.
I mean, in your eyes, I mean, there's a lot of different assumptions and thoughts, and it only is theories at this point as to how he has or had access to said builds. Sat down with a ex Epic developer yesterday. We talked a bit more extensively about the specific types of what a build is, and how potentially they could have got access. But I mean, just from your perspective, what's your assumption? If you have to put one theory down, how do you think he had or has access to it?
Um, well, to me, I mean, I feel like a lot of these clips look like they were kind of strung together and chopped up from like a longer play session. Or maybe some of them were recorded at different times. I mean, it's entirely possible that somebody has sent him these clips, or he's gotten a hold of them somehow and sort of stockpiled, enough to and kind of stitched it together to make it look like he has, access to a build. The big thing that throws a wrench in that is obviously the clip when he shoots the wall and spells leak. I guess technically speaking, he could have done that as it per his request.
Hmm.
He could have said, "Hey, I need you to." Undoubtedly, people are going to doubt that I have access to whatever. I want to scare Rockstar. Blah 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 blah. Can you go ahead and shoot my name into the wall, or shoot this name into the wall, so I can use that as a way to sort of prove the validity of whatever. I suppose that's possible. I think it's probably more possible that he has some kind of build to the game. I don't know the ins and outs of that in the way that the guy that you spoke with yesterday would. But either way, it's damaging. It's damaging to the gaming community. It's damaging to one of the few studios that still bust their ass to like put out good quality content. My thing is like, I've been called all sorts of things, from a shill to a bootlicker to whatever for, for for having this opinion. And I mean, I could care less, but like my opinion on it is like there are so few good game studios left, in my opinion, that are willing to bend over backwards and really put forward like a good quality game and not overly monetize it. So why are we rooting for the guy that's damaging this particular developer? Like, do we just like want every developer to be like Call of Duty now,
I mean,
or
that's the
like,
thing.
I don't get it.
Like with Rockstar, of every developer in the world, I have the most confidence in the silence. With Rockstar,
Yeah.
everybody knows, like I said before, what to expect with Rockstar. We all assumed that we're going to hear absolutely nothing until the finish line. That came true, minus the leaks, right? So
Yeah.
if there's any confidence to instill in any developer, it would be Rockstar. The only,
Mhm.
in my eyes, the only developer. I mean, Naughty Dog have a really great kind of track record, but
Yeah.
not as high caliber as Rockstar. I
Mhm.
mean, I think what is two of their titles is in the best selling titles of all time, up there with
Yeah.
Minecraft, with from the same
Yeah.
developer, 2 or 3 games. That's crazy. And that's the respect you have to put on them when they're purposefully being silent.
Yeah, well, and I don't know how old you are or your audience, but like I'm 35 years old, man. I've been playing Rockstar games for a long time. I grew up with these games. I have a deep appreciation for what Rockstar does. They always over deliver and give you this wow factor on launch day, and they do it consecutively. They don't miss. Like, they're always delivering good quality experiences. And I feel like, I could be wrong about this, but I feel like a lot of this sort of like anti Rockstar pro leaker guy, a lot of this probably feels like it's coming from either casual Rockstar fans that aren't really like, super adamant about Rockstar Games being one of the best developers, or like younger audiences that maybe have only their only experience with the Rockstar games like GTA Online, you know what I mean? So
Mm,
like they don't really have like the appreciation or the wherewithal maybe or the maturity level yet to see that this is like detrimental to the development of these games. I feel strongly about it, and I've been trying to be somewhat outspoken about this. But man, these leaks have caused like such a divide in this community. We were all like, super excited about the
yeah.
Netflix launch and all this stuff coming out. We're all, for the most part, the community was all on the same page. And then, man, all it takes is a handful of leaks. And now, everybody's
Just the
like, F
purge.
you, F this, and
Yeah.
did this and that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know.
I think, look, the first couple of leaks. I mean, I hopped into your stream today and had you in the background, and the conversation was brought up about why you're not speaking about the leaks in full from now on. Is from that plain leak. That
Yeah.
was your line. I'd say I was the same, but I couldn't help but indulge in the leaks because it's been so long. On release day, my heart and soul will be in Vice City. It will be in
Mhm.
Leonida for weeks to come. The level of drought that we had until there is story. I think that's definitely my line is story. I don't know
Yeah.
how much you know about what came out today, but some just the level of intricacy and detail just makes me so much more excited to just live in that world, and take my time and
Yeah.
explore. From the leaks that you had seen, I don't know where you fully cut off, but
Well, I've seen so and I wanted to clarify on this too because I don't think I was clear enough on my stream earlier. Like I decided after the plane leak that I was going to stop covering the leaks.
sure.
I've seen
Okay.
every single one of these leaks that's come out, and I don't blame anybody for watching the leaks, and that's I think maybe where there's a little bit of a miscommunication within some of the stuff that I've said and the community and everything else. But I don't blame anybody for watching the leaks. I've been watching the leaks.
Mm,
And I think that stems from just a morbid curiosity about a game we've been waiting so long for. I mean, it's like I equate it to like, if you're suffering from alcoholism and somebody slides a beer across the table and they're like, "Hey, here you go." You know what I mean? Like how are you not gonna, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like if it's there, if it's presenting itself, it's hard to say no, especially when the entire community is talking about it. It's like one of the highest forms of peer pressure mixed with curiosity that you can experience. So that's why I want the leaks to stop, because if that's taken off the table, then people don't feel like, oh, I gotta watch it or I'm missing
Mm.
out, or oh, I gotta watch it because I want to see this or see that or whatever. It just becomes more about the rollout as it was originally intended. So no, I don't blame anybody for watching the leaks. I've been watching them myself. I'm aware of every leak that's out there so far.
It just makes me way more excited than before seeing actual gameplay, the level of intricacy and detail. I'm so scared about my
Mm.
per PlayStation 5. Mechanics wise, there was a lot that was introduced in those leaks that we've never seen prior or that has been pushed from Red Dead 2 and kind of tweaked a little bit. What is the standout thing that you saw in the leaks that made you more excited?
I gotta go with the refueling mechanic, and that's mainly
Controversial.
because like
Controversial.
yeah, I know. But I've been controversial with the refueling mechanic for the better part of like a year now.
I think it's
So,
sick.
but yeah, I mean, it's like for me, I've been wanting a refueling mechanic since San Andreas. You know what I mean? I remember I tell people all the time, I remember sitting in eighth grade health class with my Game Informer magazine when they released the San Andreas spread or whatever. And I was like flipping through the pages trying to find like a gas station or anything talking about a fueling mechanic. Like I just like I've been wanting it since then. So yeah, I think it's time. I think that they can totally do it in a way that's like not gonna drive anybody crazy. And I don't think it's gonna be annoying, but to the people that are like adamantly against it, I would say you've had it your way for the past 25 years. Let us have a go with the refueling mechanic.
I mean, I'll say it as it is. It took me a couple of tries to get into Red Dead Redemption 2. The mechanics with the horse, the health, and the eating and the keeping yourself like that. It was a shock to my system. It was a learning curve for sure. But like since it's just such a core component of that game, and it makes the
Mhm.
the, the world feel so much more alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So when it comes to what seems to be as well like another health system similar to RDR2 coming to GTA 6. Not only that, but the way you control your cars is going to be different with the weapon stash in your boot.
Mhm.
Being very careful and vigilant with what you do with your car. It adds a level of detail that they haven't even touched on in the 2 decades that they've been a company for GTA. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of that in different aspects of the leak. Like, they ported over the buying, stuff from the general store from Red Dead Redemption 2. You can go in. I saw, Jason walked into one of the convenience stores. You can buy a donut from the thing. You can buy an energy drink on your way out. Like, there's a lot of little things like that. I don't know how I feel about repairing the car at the gas pump. I'd like to see how that works first, or if it even makes it. And that's the other thing too. And I feel like this is worth talking about since we're having this discussion. Is
Mhm.
like we don't know from what part of the build this all was recorded. We know it's somewhere between like January of 2025 and present day. All of these mechanics are on the chopping block.
Mhm.
Some of them could not appear in the game, and so part of the reason why I think the leaks are a bad thing is that it does set people up for certain expectations that may not be met in the final issue of the game. So they could totally remove the refueling mechanic. They could totally remove the repairing at the gas pump. They could totally remove the snook fishing spot in the bay. You know what I mean? Like these are all things that could be taken out of the game. So I don't know, just another reason why I feel the way I feel about it. But yes, there's a lot of really cool mechanics. I'm excited about a lot of them. Anything that's going to sort of add to the immersion factor, add to the realism factor. I'd love to be able to like roll down the windows instead of just like busting it out when you go to shoot, hit a button, the window goes down. Little things like that would be great. But I guess we'll kind of see.
We were all expecting before the pre-orders went live about the pricing for Grand Theft Auto. I was pleasantly surprised at what they capped the standard edition at,
Mhm.
because they could have very, very easily, very respectfully bumped it up 10 or $20. That creates a whole conversation though about other developers following suit from Rockstar, even though they didn't put in the work they put into GTA on these other games, that they maybe push up the regular AAA title price. How do you feel justifying like spending $70 on COD, MW4, Slop City, and something like GTA 6 at the same time?
When it comes to Call of Duty, the only reason that I'll buy a Call of Duty is if I have a bunch of my friends that are like, "Hey, we're all getting Call of Duty, let's play." That's one of the few games my wife will play. My father-in-law, my brother-in-law, like they'll all play COD. So like, and I used to be a big COD gamer. Spending $70 on COD is not the same thing as spending $70 on a GTA game, or what is it? It's 79.99, isn't it? Yeah, it's 80
Yeah.
bucks, isn't it? To me, those aren't the same thing. And I know that a lot of people are afraid that, with GTA, pushing up to that $80 price mark, that it's going to kind of open the door for the broader industry to kind of follow suit. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case, because by doing that, you're opening yourself up for the GTA 6 comparisons. You know what I mean? You're saying like, okay, my game is as good as GTA 6. We're worthy of that $80 price tag. I think a lot of developers are going to have a really hard, that's a hard sell. You know what I mean? I just don't see any developers, save for like, Naughty Dog, which you mentioned earlier, that could get away with something like that. They're just not, they don't have the time, they don't have the budget, they don't have the resources. I don't know. I think if that happens over time, it'll be just because of, inflation or the general industry just going up in price. I don't necessarily think it'll be Rockstar's or Take Two's fault or whatever for pricing it at $80. I agree. I was pleasantly surprised as well at the price tag. I mean, $80 for that game, I felt like was a steal. And
Oh yeah.
I know not everybody feels that way, and I've kind of used I've said, it's like going to the movies. If you're gonna, I just took my daughter to see the new Spider-Man movie like 2 weeks ago. Really good movie, by the
Stunning.
way. If you haven't seen it, highly
Stunning.
recommend watching it. But I took her to go see that movie. I mean, tickets and like popcorn and a couple of soft drinks was like $70, 60, $70. And I was like, $15 for a soft drink and then like almost $20 for a pop. It was crazy. But like you go to the movie and that's over in like what, 2 hours? And what you do is you walk out, you throw the popcorn container in the trash can because it's cold and stale now. You're not going to eat any more of that. And you maybe take your soft drinks with you out to the car, but those last what, another 30, 40 minutes before you're finished drinking them and you throw them away. And that's it. That's the end of the experience because the movie was over, a while ago. So spending $80 on a game that you're going to get hundreds, if not thousands of hours playing, I don't see why people are complaining about that. It is like the value per entertainment ratio is off the scale.